Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Music Theory Foundations. Today, we are learning how to identify chord tones and passing tones. As is usually the case with music, artistic expression can take many forms, so don't take these as hard and fast rules. Remember, music theory is a tool, not a set of rules. Put differently, music theory is the tools we use for analysis, not the rules we use to write music. Today, we will be using the song Oralee to learn the difference between chord tones and passing tones. For those unfamiliar with Oralee, here is the portion of the song we will be working with today. We have two words to define, chord tones and passing tones. Chord tones are tones that fit into the harmony of the song, and passing tones are notes that do not. Passing tones will often take you between chord tones, thus why they are called passing tones. The first step to identifying chord tones is to know what chords are in the song. For this song, I have provided both the Roman numerals and the chord names. So let's take a look at just the first four measures. We start on the 1 chord and move to the 2 chord. Then we move to the 5 chord, which takes us back home to the 1 chord. So now the question is, why do we use those chords? Looking at the notes within the melody and comparing them to the 3 chords we are using today, you can see how each measure has the most notes in common with the chord that is played during that measure. Focusing on the first measure, we have the chord G major, which is comprised of the notes G, B, and D. The melody has the notes D and G in it. However, you would be correct in noticing that the 5 chord, D major, also has 2 notes in common with the melody, those being D and F sharp. So why do we use G major instead of D major? To solve this dilemma, we should first consider the form of the song. It would be more unusual to begin a song on the 5 chord instead of establishing a home base by using the 1 chord. Additionally, while it is true that 2 different chords share 2 unique notes in the measure, if we were to actually count how many notes match up each chord in the measure, 3 of the notes line up with G major, while only 2 of the notes line up with D major. Finally, another test is to use your ears. I'm going to play just the first measure using both D major and G major. This is where you get to use some of your own musical intuition. While G major is the most usual choice here, if you find that you like D major, you can run with it. Creating music is often about being intentional with your note choices. They can be unconventional as long as you are doing it on purpose, even if you don't really know what you're doing. Don't let your musical knowledge limit your musical ear. So for this first measure, D and G are my chord tones, while the F sharp would be a passing tone. We can follow this same process for all of the measures of the song to identify chord tones and passing tones. Having clear direction in your melody can help to clarify what chords should be used. Melodies with more notes in them can make it more difficult to discern what chord would be most appropriate. But with practice, time, and effort, you can learn and improve your ability to recognize what chords are most likely to appear under a given melody. This has been another episode of Music Theory Foundations. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or topics you would like me to cover in future videos, leave them in the comments below. A like, share, and subscribe are always appreciated. I look forward to working with you to build your skills from the ground up.